Hey, Long John. Who else do we have? Hey, Sniper. Happy 2026, guys. Here we are. Starting off the new year with no shoes on my feet, but we're going to take care of that. Imagine if I set that as my New Year's resolution. That was my goal. My goal for 2026 is to put my shoes on. I can retire from the year, get my shoes on, I'm good to go. I say that like it's so easy, but you've seen me. You've seen me take my time putting my shoes on. All right, here we go. Charlie's not here yet, so we're going to start with the left. Long John, how are you? So we're going to read from lesson 1 in A Course in Miracles. That's my goal, such as it is, to see if I can present to you a lesson a day for the entire year. Of course, if it gets dry, if no one's enjoying it, maybe we'll shift. I'm going to be honest with you. The first 50 lessons of A Course in Miracles can be difficult. Many people don't make it past the first one. Longjen says, I'm decent. Been better, but decent. Well, we're going to see if we can make this your best year yet, Longjen. And it says, lesson 1 today. Let's go. All right, so everyone has the warning. We'll start as soon as I get my shoes on. That'll give me a reason to make sure that I get them on. All right, one shoe, one to go. So remember the warning. Course in Miracles is not for the faint of heart. It's not for someone who wants an easy path. It's for people who want to know who they truly are. I was reading in the text this morning. Here's something amazing. Hey, sissy. God himself, or herself, or itself, however you want to refer to God, is incomplete without you. Imagine if you knew that deeply and sincerely. If you knew that God was incomplete without you. That's how essential you are to the very fabric of existence. God is incomplete without you. This is the difference between what the Course calls grandeur and grandiosity. Grandiosity is of the ego. Grandeur is knowing who you really are. We've long accepted our littleness. That we're an ego, that we're flawed, that we're sinners, that we make mistakes, that we are this and we are that, and yet none of that is absolutely true. On the deepest level. On the relative level, hey Lady Sky, on the relative level, on the level of the mundane, all kinds of stuff. Longjet says, damn right, Yogi, I'm due for a good year, and I want to tackle this course as well. Let's do it. All right. I got one more shoe to put on, and then we're going to do it. Let me start again with the warning. If you are looking for an easy spiritual path, there's plenty of them out there. If you're looking to dive in to knowing who you truly are and having an experience, an actual experience, here's what the Course says, that a universal theology is impossible. Not everyone is going to agree on who and what God is, on what path we should take, right? Even within religions, there's infighting. You could be a Christian and you're fighting with an Episcopalian, Catholic versus Lutheran versus Methodist versus Baptist. Everyone insisting that they are right. This is the only way. So a universal theology is impossible. However, a universal experience is not only available, it's a requirement. It's necessary. All right, here we go. So be prepared. Here's the only thing they require. The only rule in the entirety of A Course in Miracles is one lesson a day. No more than one lesson. Here's the wonderful thing about A Course in Miracles. As Kenneth Wapnick said, a good Course in Miracles student is a bad Course in Miracles student that forgives himself. Happy New Year, Maddie. Maddie, how are you? How's the family, my friend? All right, lesson 1. Nothing I see in this room or on this street, from out the window, in this place, office, room, wherever you are, means anything. Nothing I see in this room means anything. So here's how we do the exercise. Look slowly around the room and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This camera doesn't mean anything. This reflection doesn't mean anything. This computer doesn't mean anything. This pen doesn't mean anything. Looking around the room, that photo doesn't mean anything. The wall doesn't mean anything. This book doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. Then look further away from your immediate area and apply the idea to a wider range. That door doesn't mean anything. That window doesn't mean anything. That street lamp doesn't mean anything. This body doesn't mean anything. This hand doesn't mean anything. This watch. Be indiscriminate. Whatever you see. Long John says, say it again. Nothing I see in this room or on this street or from the window, in this place, wherever you find yourself, means anything. Look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever it is you see. Whatever it is you see. Be very indiscriminate. This pen doesn't mean anything in the same way that this bottle doesn't mean anything. This is a tough one. This is the first one. So notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowances for differences in the kind of things to which they are applied. That is the purpose of this exercise. The statement should merely be applied to anything you see. As you practice the idea for today, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application for this idea is concerned. The first of these lessons should not be done more than twice a day, preferably morning and evening, nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so, unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. All right, nothing I see means anything. The first 50 lessons of A Course in Miracles, not all of them, but the first, is a path of negation, meaning it's going to pull the rug out from under you. It's going to take away everything. There's a reason why nothing you see means anything. I'm going to give you a hint. It's because we see it with the false interpretation of who we think we are. The Course takes away that false interpretation and allows you to see who you really are. Soon, as we start working our way through, you're going to start seeing everything with greater meaning, because the meaning is going to be given to you from love. It's going to be given to you from the Tao. It's going to be given to you from your Buddha mind, from the heart, from the Holy Spirit, whatever term you want to use. But we're not there yet. Let's see. Mehdi says, Mr. Yogi still got to work later. I hope it's good weather. I hope you're not out there on an icy road, Maddie. Hey, Sarah. Sarah says, wish I'd caught the start. I don't mind repeating it for you, my friend. Of course, you can always rewatch if the beginning. Let me know what you want me to do. Long just says, "What snow here, Yogi?" Didn't want to get off topic, but just want to give you a warning since you not that far away. I don't know what it's doing out. I haven't even looked outside. So in here right now, and then it's wet and windy. Charge your phone because you might lose power. Man, I hope not. I probably should get some kind of charger, right? Some kind of what are they called? Generators, thingies, thingamabobs, doohickeys. Sarah, are you still here? So, any questions about the lesson? Here's been a good book. The Course in Miracles Experiment. Pam Grout. She provides a really insightful and entertaining perspective on each of the lessons. Hey, Ellie. This is her little introduction to Lesson 1. Course in Miracles proposes a revolutionary overhaul of everything we now believe. Like quantum physics that overthrew Newtonian reality of colliding pool balls, the Course presents an outright challenge to the fundamental nature of reality. Everything we think we know, everything we believe to be fact, is backwards, wrong side up. Boil down, that's the first 50 lessons of A Course in Miracles. What we think is true, even what we call factual knowledge, is the exact opposite of how the world really is. Our culture feeds us bullshit. Our culture feeds us a bullshit line about the world being scary. It teaches us to protect ourselves, claim possibility as finite. It claims possibilities are finite. The Course is designed to prove none of that is true. It is designed to undo and retrain our minds, which rewires and changes everything in our lives. So we shall begin. Nothing I see means anything. For one measly minute, simply look around the room, out the window, wherever you happen to be, in your line of sight, and say, this lamp doesn't mean anything. This TV doesn't mean anything. This computer doesn't mean anything. That's it. The Course doesn't say you don't have to believe it. You don't even have to like it. Just follow the damned instructions. This is from Pam Grout. There you go, guys. Just follow the damn instructions. Sarah says, what's the book name again? This is The Course in Miracles Experiment. And it's very simplified workbook lessons in entertaining language. Happy New Year to you, Kat. I love you too. Now, again, thank you, Ellie. Hey, Environment. Kat will vouch for this. Kat says, I tend to discard the instructions. You? I find that hard to believe, as I laugh out loud. Ellie says, I haven't said I love you to anyone yet this year. You get to be the first one. Love you. Thank you, Ellie. Ellie, I love you too, my friend. So it says, cheers. So Kat can vouch that it's difficult to get through the first few lessons. It's difficult to get through the entire course book. It took me a long time. So what we'll do is we'll practice together, but be okay messing up. Be okay forgetting the instructions. Be okay doing the best that you can. Practice forgiving yourself, because eventually that's what the entire course comes down to. Forgiveness. And we only forgive ourselves because guess what? There is no one else. What do I think about energetic structures relative to emotions? I'll be honest, Sarah. I don't give it much thought. I used to give things like that a whole lot of thought, um, but they lost their practicality. Understanding anything like that never made me feel better. Does that make sense? In the practical, daily, mundane aspects of my life, knowing anything about any energetic structure, knowing anything about um, any of that, anything along those lines, never really brought me peace of mind. It was interesting. It explained a lot. Like, I love diving into the chakra system. Uh, but aside from a basic understanding, knowing about the chakra system didn't do much to bring me peace of mind. I'm not saying it hasn't been helpful, but that daily, when something stresses me out, when um, when it feels like a friend has hurt me, when someone I deeply care about steps outside of my life, when I get in an argument with someone, when a family member does something to upset me, right? It's always about me. Knowing anything about the chakra system I've never been able to say, okay, let me access which chakra this is um, addressing. Let me do a quick meditation, and all of that might be helpful later. But in the actuality of the moment, being able to choose peace has been everything. Hey, Leonard, how are you, my friend? Today is going to be the 4th day of physio. Awesome. I hope each day you're feeling better and better. There you go. Perfect. Sarah, you said that beautifully. Yeah, it's not helpful. I find it explains, it doesn't excuse. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, having said that, I'm deeply committed to my yoga practice, and that does have a practicality. When I wake up in the morning and I do my breath work, I'm setting the tone for the entire day. I'm creating just the right chemical hormonal balance to help me wake up and face the day. When I sit in meditation, I am relaxing my central nervous system, I'm relaxing my mind, I'm training myself to be more responsive. I do my coursework right as I'm beginning to meditate, so I take it down deeper. When I finish my meditation, when I do my yoga asana routine for the morning, again, I am retraining my central nervous system to be more responsive and less reactive. Naturally balancing my chakra system, my balancing myself energetically without having to concentrate on it. I just do my yoga. Everything takes care of itself. But it's that down and dirty course work, training myself moment by moment by moment to offer forgiveness for the mistakes that I make in judgment and grievances and resentment, for being able to see the same forgiving nature of the Holy Spirit that resides within me, that is letting myself off the hook, resides in other people, and vice versa. When I see it within someone else, when I offer forgiveness to this person because of who they are, not because of what they did still might suck. What they did still might hurt. What they did still might require me to act a certain way. It might mean having distance between me and this person. On the level of form, on the level of the body, on the level of the heart, on the level of the mind, there's no such thing as separation. There's no such thing as distance. And that's the nature of forgiveness. I'm seeing there's only Holy Spirit. I don't have a Holy Spirit. You don't have a Holy Spirit. It's not divided into aspects. There is just Spirit. There is just the Holy Spirit. There is just love. There is just love. There is just God. Not a separate God for me and a separate God for you. God, the term God doesn't even apply in this situation. There is just, and then we have to be silent. There's just life happening, expressing itself as you, expressing itself as me, but ultimately there is no you, there is no me. And when I see that, everything's automatically forgiven. However, for the practicality of purpose, I might need to be watchful of you. I might know that you do things that might be hurtful to me, for me. That doesn't mean I don't forgive you. That doesn't mean I don't recognize the Holy Spirit in you, because I want to recognize the Holy Spirit in me. All right, where were we? Long this says Yogi, professional tone setter. I appreciate tone setter versus being tone deaf. Sarah says, when I meditate, I find it mostly comes to surrender. Me too. Me too. I've actually switched up my meditation for the past week or so. I'm a primordial sound meditation instructor, certified through the Chopra Foundation. I love my mantra. I will always return to my mantra. The first form of meditation that we teach in mantra meditation is very often the so hum meditation. It's a very simple practice and might be one of the most profound meditation techniques that we can do. Combines the breath along with mantra, the natural mantra of the breath. And I don't know why I felt called to return to it. It never fails to bring me to a deep sense of stillness. I love it. It's one of the first ones I practice ever with the Self-Realization Fellowship. They call it the Hung Sao. It's the same. It's just pronounced differently. Different tradition. I'm happy to teach it. Hey, Parajat, if anyone would like, you can pick it up like that, like in an instant. Both mantra meditation, but this is really a mantra meditation, but it also includes the breath. Parajat says, so Yogi, these last few days have been the greatest days of my life. That's awesome, Parajat. What has brought that on? Parajat says, meditated a lot. Awesome, awesome. The earth feels lovely on the feet tonight. Man, that was beautifully said, Environment. So I really wish that everyone has a meditation and breathwork practice that they can fall back to. Be a great gift to yourself for 2026. I almost said 2021. I'm actually 5 years, 5 years behind. Parajat says I meditated. Without food, water, and stimulant of any kind. I meditated for 3 days. Wow. That is sounds like a profound experience, Parajat. Sarah says, I don't have any specific practice meditation. Do you find that you feel like you're progressing along? The sign of deepening practice of meditation is very easy to notice. It's not how much silence I fall into when I meditate. It's not, am I reaching these deep states of interconnection, or am I seeing the blue pearl that can often appear? Am I having a light show? I had a little light show happen 2 days ago. None of that is signs of a deepening practice. All of them are awesome, great experiences, but they're experiences. Do you want to know if your meditation is working? Are you kinder? Are you calmer? Do you choose peace more often? Now you know. If none of those things are happening, you're having great experiences, but it loses its practicality. Sissy says, yeah, COVID has set me back in time too. Longden says, Yogi, I believe for this teaching of the course, we need to understand that we can only do this right now in our present time, in our present time environment. No future, no past. Agreed. 100%. Longden says, I lost count of the years, Yogi. Feels like it's still 2020. Yeah, I've been writing a lot about that. I've been writing a lot about a sense of loss. Longden says, 3 days of meditation is professional meditation. Good Lord. So, guys, we can do, I can teach a very quick meditation right now if anyone is interested in establishing a practice. And it says, are you kinder? Are you calmer? Do you choose peace more often? That's the sign that your meditation is working. Sarah says, yeah, I heard somewhere that if you meditate without progression, it's more of an indulgence. It's easy to get caught up in our thoughts and think we're meditating. It's okay to have thoughts. We're not attempting to make the mind silent. A lot of people have told me through the years, I've been teaching meditation for a long time. I've been practicing even longer, 30 plus years. Meditation I've been practicing for over 40 itself. And a lot of people say, I can't meditate. I've tried. Too many thoughts. That's exactly what meditation is. Meditation is simply, you are the noticer of the thoughts. You're the witness to the thoughts. You're not the thoughts themselves. Your goal isn't to get rid of thoughts. Your goal is to no longer fully relate to the thoughts. And it says, no future, no past. Angelum Velom, Kabalti, Bastrika, Brahmari, Ujjayi. Plus tried the slowest Angelum Velom. It was tough. What was your count? I generally, for me, I do 4, 16, 8. But I have done 420. What was it? 420, 10. I have done a little bit higher, but the 4, the 16, and the 8 seems to be the sweet spot for me. See, consciousness in everything can help us practice compassion. Yes, and if you're more of a devotional person, if you're more of a bhakti yogi, you can switch it and say seeing Christ as everything. It's the same thing. Christ consciousness, seeing light as everything, seeing love as everything, seeing the Holy Spirit as everything. Sarah says, oh yeah, not all thoughts are our own. There are lots of influence in our environment. And yet the one thing that always remains the same is that we are the witness of the thought. And as your practice deepens, even the witness disappears. Watch, and the shoes are on. So any questions about meditation? Any question about lesson 1? Thank you, Ellie. I should, as I mentioned at the beginning, I should have set my New Year's resolution of putting my shoes and watch on, because then I could retire for the year. Put it on my checklist, check it off. Hey, Julian. No, see if I remember this. No sprachen de Deutsch. How flawed was that German? Sarah says, I'm having fun New Year's resolutions this time. Awesome. Praja says, so Yogi, Nani Shohana was the toughest and the best. So that is generally my afternoon practice. Morning, I wake up with the breath of fire. I have that with breath retention, but that's optional. The way I was taught to teach it, first off, for most people, is without breath retention. Later, I did an advanced pranayama course, and it taught with the breath retention. And Hey, Rosie. I do have time for breath work. Ellie speaks some German. Anna says, 100, super fantastic lesson, one Yogi. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Anna. I wanted to present it in a way that wasn't given to me, a little hopeful, because it sounds like a very pessimistic message, right? This doesn't mean anything. This pen doesn't mean anything. This bell, which I ring for many people, which was a gift uh, from a loved one, it's a Tibetan meditation bell, doesn't mean anything. Of course, it means something, right? It meant that someone loved me enough to actually find the perfect gift and give it to me at the perfect time, and that I get to use it for some very sincere practices here on my channel. But ultimately, it doesn't mean anything, the same as this pen and this bottle and this phone and these glasses don't mean anything, because I'm viewing everything with the meaning given it by the ego. What we're going to see is even the ego doesn't mean anything. But we'll get there. I don't want to give too much away. Let's just say that everything needs to be broken down before we can redefine it. Everything has to be broken down before we can give it to the Holy Spirit to show us exactly what everything is for. Here's a hint. Everything is for forgiveness. Everything, including ringing the bell, is for love. Everything is meant for love. As we learn to choose the Holy Spirit more often, everything that happens to us becomes a practice. And the practice is always forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean letting someone off the hook. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It really has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the Christ mind, Christ consciousness, consciousness itself. Everything. Every single thing. But again, don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I want to dangle that in front so you know where we're heading. Parjat is familiar with neti neti meditation. Neti neti is literally in Sanskrit means not this. As we meditate, as we practice self-inquiry, we might begin by asking ourselves, who am I? And then allowing everything that comes up, I'm Eric. We say, not this, not this. This is just a name. I didn't even choose the name. Someone gave it to me. How can I be Eric? Well, then I must be my job, my vocation, whatever it is I love. I must be a husband, a father, a brother. Nope. Not this, not this. I must be this body. Am I? If I lose a finger, does that mean that I'm less? Not this, not this. Whatever comes out, neti, neti, not this. Eventually, when we run out of any possible label, and even silence is a label, when we run out of everything, we come to the essentiality of who we are. Anna says, everything is for forgiveness and for love. You tried, Ellie. I appreciate the German. So it says, all reflective. 3D is stretching out of a higher spine to experience a higher depth. Beautifully said. Hey, Ryan. Ryan says, you coming to wake up? Oh, hey, I forgot, guys. Let's gift 5 memberships. See what happens. I get 10 a month. Let's do the first 5, and maybe we'll do the second 5 this afternoon. And our friend Falcon. I haven't seen Falcon in a while. Hey, Liza. Dougie Doug. Dougie Doug was in the other day. Mustard Mischief. I can't recall Mustard Mischief. Neurological Toxin. I haven't seen him for a bit. God made it. Hey, our friend William. Awesome. Should I do the next 5 or should I hold off? Let me know. Hey, chef. She cooks is here. Hello, my friend. The most entertaining YouTuber out there, but not just entertaining. She Cooks, She Roasts is also a very loving channel. She just presents everything so beautifully. Happy New Year to you, my friend. What's up, Marlon? All right, Matters, how are you? It's been a bit. On the higher dimensions, we can experience things instantaneous. It's gotta boring at some point. All right, Matters, how have you been? All right, let's just go ahead and do it. Let's give away those next 5. All right, Matters says, all is well. Chef says, I'm glad when I catch you live. Good energy always. Thank you, my friend. Jonathan received the membership. Paul Jokes from Wales. Good guy. I am. Believe I am is Buddha. Mayhem and Miracles. Mayhem and Miracles was essential for helping my channel grow. I would not be where I am as far as subscribers without her. Duke City. Duke City is an awesome guy. Chef says Paul is awesome. Heart Matters says, how are you, Yogi? I'm good, Heart Matters. I'm good. Fireman says, I like to think of them as deeper dimensions within this. Maddie's watching in the background. Thank you, Maddie. Be safe today, my friend. Be live for a few more minutes, guys. I don't think we'll make quite an hour today. I do have a guest this afternoon. I need to set up for her. Heartmatter says, just got home from fireworks. I heard fireworks about 12 o'clock. Super late, going to bed. Much love. Much love to you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Maddie says, got man flu now and got to work. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Maddie? Healing prayers for Maddie, guys. We're going to ring the bell for Maddie. Going to ring the bell for Maddie, for Chloe, for baby Jordy and the whole family, for a new year, for love, for safety, for our friends. 3 times. This is going to be an awesome year for you, Maddie. Sarah says the dimensions will go both ways, really. Always hard to perceive from here. It's sort of like a double helix turning itself inside out. You know, that's interesting. When we think of the infinite, we always picture outwards, don't we? Everything is infinite, but infinite by its very description, by its very nature, goes both ways, meaning it is just as infinite. Ultimately, there's no direction. There's just the infinite. Maddie says, and this statement has everything Tells you everything you need to know about Maddie. Keeping roads and hospitals safe is my priority. Flu won't stop my dedication. Flu won't stop your doesn't stop your loving nature. Just the infinite, large and small. And even that loses distinction. So, any questions on lesson 1? Any questions about the course? Any questions about establishing a meditation practice? So, there is a lot of energy in new beginnings as well as endings. This is in Tibetan Buddhism, this would be called a bardo. Bardo is that the seeming space from one thing to the next. As as the body dies, we enter the realm of the bardos versus bardo, bardo, bardo. This life itself is a bardo to whatever comes next. There's a bardo that came before. Ultimately, there's no distinctions, there's no separation, but it's a term of clarification. So New Year's is actually a bardo within this bardo, meaning it's an ending at the very same moment at the beginning. It's a perfect time to establish the sitting practice of meditation. Hey, Rapper. Oh, I wanted to read about my guest. She will be up at 5:25, so this afternoon we're just going to hang out. Unless someone reaches out to me and they want to come up. As I mentioned before, Nanette is a healer. She is a intuitive spiritual coach. Thank you, Maddie. Maddie has extended his membership by another month. 11 months. Maddie's been a good friend for over a year now. She's also a teacher of ecstatic dancing. As she says, part of the healing is the opportunity to move energies through the body temple through ecstatic dance. She is she has a bachelor's in psychology. She is a Silva graduate, and I think this is the Jose Silva mind method. She's a hypnotherapist, neuro-linguistic programming, Course Miracles facilitator since 1992, ecstatic dance coach. She's an ordained minister. She's a Reiki 3rd degree level practitioner, and she's a practitioner of crystal bowl sound healing. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that bell again. She will be with us this evening. I hope you guys come. 5:25 Eastern Standard Time. Hang out with us. On that note, we're going to close things down, I think, for the morning. I'm going to go out and take my walk. I got some burpees to do this morning. Did my kettlebells yesterday. I'm pretty sore. I'm doing very, very light, but high rep squats. The lighter weight on my back feels good, and the high reps. Thank you, Maddie. So yesterday I did kettlebell long cycle, which is the clean and jerk intervals, 1 on, 1 off. So 1 minute, as many reps as I could get. Rest a minute. I did that for 6 rounds, and then I did, hey Nino. Then I did 80 pounds back squats. I used to squat. I competed in powerlifting. I've squatted over 400 in competition. That was the young Yogi. At 60, I'm just happy to be squatting with weight again. But I did If you're doing clean and jerks right with kettlebells, you're going to feel it more in your legs than your shoulders. Even though you're putting the weight up overhead, you want to be using your legs. So my main set of squats, I did 80 pounds for one set of 40 reps, which I felt. If you're doing anything over 20, you're going to feel, doesn't matter how light the weight is. I only need the weight heavier than the kettlebells that I'm using. And right now, my competition weight, if I were to compete in my age group, would be 12 kilograms. Can you do double kettlebells? I've been competing with the at-home competitions with the 16s. When I did this like super competitively, been over 20 years ago. It's before I started doing ultra running. I competed with the 24s and trained with the 28s and the 32s. Those days are over. So yeah, anyway, I'm sore. Environment says, I'm excited for the ecstatic dance guest. Me too. I will not be demonstrating anything. Just to put that out there. Whatever she presents, whatever she teaches, I will not be demonstrating it on camera. Sorry, guys. If you had your hopes up seeing me do my ecstatic dance, the dance of the 7 veils, I will not be doing it. All right, so I'm going to head out, guys. Almost 6 o'clock. See if I can get in 4 miles before the sun comes up. Environment says, you must dance, Yogi Master. I will not dance. I will not dance. Probably. I probably will not dance. I will not dance. My New Year's resolution is to get through the day without dancing on camera. Thank you, Sissy. We got a link dropped. Sissy, I was mentioning you last night. We got some things to do this year, helping out our friends. We're going to get Sissy monetized, our friend Soul Stars. We're going to get her monetized before spring. So if you can go over, give her some watch hours. Participate in the conversations. Sissy's sharing a deep message with all of us. She is essential help for the new year. As well, our friend Thrive and Go with Joe Delaney, is in need of watch hours because she's starting to lose some watch hours. So we need to make sure that we can keep her up. I can't drop her link, but if you just do a search engine, Thrive and Grow with Joe, J-O. I would like to take a moment. Our friend Adam says, Mr. Clean, I just want to take a moment to applaud him on his originality. No one in the history of my baldness has ever compared me to Mr. Clean. That's amazing, amazingly original, clever, and funny. You must be a hit in all the parties. Man, you probably had an awesome New Year's Eve, right? Man. Anyway, I appreciate you being here. Maddie says, be safe, Miss Yogi. Embrace nature. I will, my friend. Hey, Ed. Hold on. Where is it? It should be right here. It is right here. Once every couple of years, Ed, you can tell this book has traveled with me everywhere. The Dharma Bums. I love all Kerouac, but the Dharma Bums is essential reading. Every couple of years, I got to break it out. Dharma Bums put me on a Buddhist Zen path for a while. Made me fall in love with all things beat. Let's see. Is that until? Am I pronouncing that right? Happy New Year to you, my friend. Sissy says I was too sick to be social. I'm sorry, Sissy. However, even if you're not here, we do our best to look out for you. So I was talking about watch hours. So thrive and grow with Joe. If we can have her up. There's one more. Our friend Nikki Lee. If we can really help with those three. Nikki Lee, Niccilee. We can help her out. And that's, anyone else who might need help. It says, yes, one of my favorites, also a town in the city. Of course, it all started off with On the Road. Hey, I'm friends with George Walker on Facebook. George Walker was the last person to be with Neil Cassidy alive. He was on those train tracks in Mexico when Neil Cassidy passed away. And I've tried to get him up. I've tried to get a couple of the last of the Merry Pranksters to come up on my live stream. We've just had technical difficulties. Thank you, Toll, my friend. Happy and prosperous New Year's to you as well. All right, I gotta go. I love you guys. I'll see everyone this afternoon and this evening. Again, Nanette Victoria is going to be up hanging out with us. Love you guys. Take care.